Welcome back to the Gaming Co-op. Today we're looking at more units in the Codex and how to make them really cool, efficient, and fluffy. Today's unit in question is the Deffkilla Wartrike. Before we go on, I just wanted to give you a heads up that we will be putting out this video before the FAQ, so if anything changes, look in the comment section below. I'm sure I'll pin something there letting you know. So let's look at the unit to begin with. The Deffkilla Wartrike is a move 14 bike. It is a character, so it's obscurable behind like our own friendly units, and as such, it is a pretty hardy model. We're going to be looking though at a movement-based variant and a mortal wound-based variant, and also a toughness variant. I've given each one of these bosses a name according to how they operate. First off, we are going to look at his datasheet though. How has it changed? He's now 5 points cheaper at 120 instead of 125. He's gained a 5+ invuln, which is really good. They've been handing those out to orcs like crazy, which is excellent because he is only a 4-up armor save. So in most cases, you're going to be using that invuln anyway. His movement is still the same at 14 inches. However, his auto advance ability has now changed. Whenever he advances, he's going flat 9 inches. You don't have to roll for it, which is crazy. So on a turn that you call a standard wah, not a speedwah, you're going to be moving 14 inches plus an additional 9 inches and then charging 2d6 inches. But let's see how we can make that even crazier. So just as a heads up for this unit, it should never be your warlord. It should always be taken in a separate detachment so that it can benefit from the wah, allowing it to advance and charge. That is how I will be using it. That's how I think you should use it. But you do you, and let me know down in the comment section below whether or not you're going to be including this guy moving forward. So to begin, we're going to start with the Speedwah Variant. This is an Evil Sun's specific warlord trait and relic. It's going to be great. I'm going to tell you all about it. So the unit has a base 14-inch move. He is an Evil Sun's and a speed freak, so that's going to get an additional 2 inches. And then when it advances, it's getting an additional inch from this culture. So this is really good. It's going to bump him up. Are you ready for this? So we're at 14-inch move base. We're gaining 2 from being a speed freak. We will spend the 1 CP to take Resmec's Redder Paint, which gives him an additional 2 inches on the move characteristic. So we are now at 18 inches of move. We are then going to spend 15 points for the custom job Squig Hide Tires, give him another inch. So we're looking at 19-inch movement right now, and that's before advancing. Now let's look at how this influences him when he advances. He's going flat 9 from having the fuel mixer grot. He's getting an additional 1, so we're at 10 now for being a speed freak. And so he's gonna have a base movement of 29 inches, which is crazy fast. That is so fast. What an absolute unit. That gas, that rocket on the back of his jet now actually makes sense. So he's moving 29 inches before we charge. So how are we gonna get into combat? We're gonna call that wah. So now, even though it has advanced, it can declare a charge. When it declares a charge, we're going to spend the 2 CPs, even though you probably won't need them, for ramming speed. What this allows you to do is declare a charge on a unit and roll 3d6. With Here We Go, we can re-roll those results. But that is crazy. For 135 points, we have a base 19-inch movement unit with another 10-inch advance, and then the ability to charge after that. It's stacking a lot of abilities, but I think that's pretty interesting. The fact that it can just zip around the board is crazy. All right, so now let's move on to, oh, and sorry, I didn't mention, as far as that goes, Warlord trait, take whatever you want. That's pretty solid. I kind of personally am leaning towards, I think, the 4+ invuln from the Junk Boss, but we shall see. All right, so as I was saying, the Junk Boss is a great option for a Warlord trait on this guy. And the way that the Warlord traits are worded, you can take ones from the Orc Warlord traits or the Speed Boss Warlord traits. So, the alternative to that is you can take like Art as Nails. Any of the other traits in there really are pretty solid. Might is right. Just something to make him a threat when he does make that charge. All right, our next build is the aptly named Mortal Wound Monster. So how is this gonna work? Once again, you don't want him to be your Warlord. We're gonna spend the 2 CPs to give him a relic and a warlord trait. The relic doesn't matter as much in this one, but the warlord trait does, and so does a custom job that we're going to give him. So starting out, we're going to give him the Roadkilla ability. So what this is after he completes a charge within 1 inch of an enemy unit, On a 2-up, he's dealing D3 mortal wounds. We're then going to stack that with the ramming speed stratagem for 2 CPs. And what that does is allows you to roll 3d6 as we established before, but then you're going to do an additional D3 mortal wounds on a 2-up to that unit. So that unit that you just charged is taking 2 D3 mortal wounds on 2-ups, which is really solid. Now, for 15 points, we're going to give him the custom job, Shock a Hull. So what that's going to do is, any unit that attacks him, on a 4-up, they're taking D3 mortal wounds. So what does this mean? In the turn that he charges, he's going to do a 2-up, which does D3 mortal wounds, another 2-up, which does D3 mortal wounds, and then if that unit survives after he attacks, he then does another D3 mortal wounds to them on a 4-up. That's crazy. Being able to stack 3 D3 mortal wounds potentially on a unit is insane, especially on anything hardy, tough, like Death Guard or Blade Guard veterans, something that has a good save. Just being able to pour out mortal wounds is crazy. Orks are looking really good at that. This is our last build. This is the hard to kill Deffkilla Wartrike. It really only works with snake bites. You can do it with bad moons, but I think just reducing incoming wound capabilities is better than having a better invuln or a better armor save. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the 1 CP for Big Boss. We're going to give him the Art as Nails ability. So here we are on the Warlords page. We're taking Art as Nails. What this does is each time an attack is made that targets this Warlord, subtract 1 from that attack's wound roll. So what this means is, say he's being targeted by Assault Intercessors who are regularly needing 5s, they're now needing 6s. Let's say he's fighting something with a strength of 6, when they would usually be needing 4s, they're now needing 5s. So the Snakebites clan culture is each time an attack is made against a unit with this culture, unless the attack has a strength characteristic of 8 or more, a unmodified wound roll of 1 through 3 for that attack fails, irrespective of any ability that the weapon or the model making the attack may have. So what does this mean? If you're going up against, say, something that's strength 6 in close combat, they're now needing 5s to wound him. That's because it goes to a 4 from the clan culture and then gets +1 from Art as Nails, going to a 5. That is so good. All right, the last thing I want to mention that makes this unit really strong with these combined abilities is Ramshackle. Each time an attack is allocated to this model, unless that attack has a strength characteristic of 8 or more, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack. This unit is actually now really effective at fighting infantry. For the longest time, whenever a Deffkilla Wartrike would go into combat against, say, some Assault Intercessors, he would lose, just because of the sheer output of attacks they have. But now they're hitting on 3s, wounding on 6s, and then he gets a 4-up armor save or a 5-up invulnerable save. And to make that even better, he is a character, so he can't be targeted until he's in close combat. They've also improved the weapon, it's now damage 2. Moral of the story, Deffkilla Wartrike, 10 out of 10, great unit now. I hope this doesn't get FAQ'd. If it does, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave a comment for you down in the section below. It'll be pinned, and I'll probably do a rant after that. So remember, you don't want to take him as your warlord. You want to take him as a warlord of a separate detachment that gains a trait through the Big Boss stratagem, and then you want to give him relics, and most of the time you want to give him that shocking custom job. So thank you for watching. If you thought of any of this, let me know down in the comment section below. Maybe you beat me to it, but maybe I'm the first person you've seen make a video about this. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more unit reviews and crazy in-depth analysis into all the cool things you can do with our new codex.